everybody, it's Lisa's Rambling Hour, or Rambling Hour with Lisa, and we are live. So this is season 2, episode 5. I'm coming to you from the living room, and it's a bit of a Valentine's theme, but also these lovely, gorgeous flowers that me and Steve got from his mom and stepdad. So my mother-in-law and father-in-law. Stepfather-in-law? Father-in-law, yeah, stepfather-in-law, I guess. So, so I thought I'd have those out. Some of the lilies aren't even open yet, so I need to take a good photo of those in the next few days to add. Half of this is going to be taken off of the image when I have my guest. So, I'll just wait for a moment. I hope everybody's been good this week. Something that I wanted to clear up from last week that's been bugging me all week, and the person might not even, it might not matter to anybody, but in the village that I used to live in before we moved here we moved here 6 years ago, just over 6 years ago. And in the village we used to live in, there was, out of 204 people who lived in the village, there was 7 Mikes. So my ex-husband was Mike. Next door to us, a man and lady lived there. They had 4 sons, and 4 adult sons. One of them was named Mike, and he lived in the basement. Down the road, there was a Mike who was similar to my age, and his daughter went to school with the girls. And then over next to the restaurant, there was another Mike who's my age. And then right across the street from us, there was a middle-aged man named Mike. And, so if I'm standing in my driveway, the house over here, it was the middle-aged Mike and Marion, his wife Marion. And then over here was Old Man Mike. But Old Man Mike passed away a few years after we, hi Brenna, passed away a few years after we moved there. He was a very nice old man. And then, that's almost all of them, right? Oh, and then over by the school, there is Mike Bennett and his wife Judy. So, last week, Mike Bennett signed on, and I said hi, and me and Allison, I explained to Allison that it was Mike across the street from where we used to live, Mike and Marion, because my brain was thinking brother. As soon as I saw Mike, I thought brother, and Ernie, I know this, you don't have to remember all this, Ernie, another man who lives in town, and Mike and Marion, so Mike across from us and Ernie are brothers, but the Mike Bennett, who actually signed on, that lives over by the school with Judy, is brothers with a family that I'm friends with. They have the same last name, Bennett. With Renee Bennett, who live on a farm. Anyways, 7 Mikes, really confusing. Said hi to the wrong one. But it's been bugging me all week because I do know who you are, Mike Bennett. I know who you are. My brain just didn't, so all week it's been bugging me, him signing on and watching live and then thinking, she doesn't even remember who I am, and but I do, you and Judy, so say hi to Judy. And like I said, I know this is irrelevant because nobody's probably, who knows if they'll even sign on or see this, but it mattered to me to correct it because it's been bugging me all week. So I am going to have a guest today, and I will bring her on shortly, and let me see if there's anything else I wanted to. So Steve had a birthday, and then we had our anniversary, our 3rd year wedding anniversary, and that happened this week. And we're still in lockdown, and I can't think of anything else that still working out. So today is day, I don't even remember. I think 167 days in a row. It's marked on the calendar. They blend into each other, but I haven't missed a day, so I'm still working out. And yes, and also my picture that I used for the Rambling Hour, just to let you know, a few hours ago, I put the one on that says "Let's talk about it," is I used it especially because we had tacos for supper tonight. So yes, starting tomorrow we're back on low carbs again, or no carbs. So I had wraps and tacos tonight. All right, I think I'm a bit too bright, but when I come back, it's not, anyways, so I am going to bring on my guest, and this is a person that I met when I was about 17 or 18, and Okay, so when I was a teenager, I was in the Boys and Girls Club, and I went to a retreat with my friend Tanika and a bunch of other, like, you know, a retreat with the Boys and Girls Club. And me and Tanika met these girls, Trish and Jackie, who are also on the retreat. And we were from one of the Edmonton Boys and Girls Clubs, and they were from a small city outside of Edmonton called Fort Saskatchewan, the Boys and Girls Club there, even though we met south in Alberta in a place called Airdrie. But we became friends with them, and then me and Jackie were pen pals, even though we lived, like, it's only like 20 minutes out of the city, 15, not even, 10, 15 minutes out of the city. And now the city's getting closer, like they're just almost attached now. But at the time, when you're a teenager, we didn't have vehicles, so we wrote to each other. We were pen pals. And then when we got a bit older, and I think Tanika was in touch with Trish a bit more. And then when we became at almost adult age and we started going out to the bars and clubs and stuff, then we started hanging out with them as a group. And then, yeah, me and Trish just became really good friends. Through Trish, I moved out to Fort Saskatchewan, and she was my first roommate. It was the first time I ever moved out when I was 18. And through her, I met some of her schoolmates, and one of them was Brenna, who I became friends with. And she is somebody who's really important to me, somebody who matters to me, and that we seem to, you lose contact for a few years, but then you see each other again, and there's always been this connection. So Brenna is my guest today, and I'm excited to have her. I haven't seen her. I've talked to her on FaceTime and stuff for lots, but I haven't seen her. I didn't get to see her when we were in Canada, so I think my, like, 39th birthday, maybe? Oh, no, wait, was I here for my 39th birthday? I can't even remember. Anyways, so I'm 42, so that was 3 years ago, but I don't remember what birthday that was, but I think the last time I saw her was at one of my birthdays when I went to Boston Pizza, and a bunch of friends were there. I think that's the last time I've seen her. Brenna can correct me if I'm wrong, but I will bring her on now. So, give me 1 second. Okay, Brenna, are you watching from your tablet? If you go on the bottom, there's Melody. Tell her what the button looks like to invite her to join. And that's just to invite people to watch. Hang on. Brenna, try signing in on your phone as well. You can have your tablet there as well, but just sign onto Lena's just right here. Because it's not giving me the option to add you here, unless you can see something on the bottom that says where to add friends. I did try to look this up to see if it had to be on like if you could use a laptop, or if it had to be specifically an iPhone or iPad, but it seemed to say that as long as you had the app on iOS, Android, that you could join a live. But when I go on to her name, Melody, it doesn't show me the option to add her to the conversation. So I don't know how to do this. I know I should be talking as well. Forgetting that I'm, like, I don't know. I tried to have this all figured out. Me and Brenna were even messaging and making sure that everything was working before I started my live, and even Steve looked, and it said that as far as he could tell, you just needed the app. Brenna, write a comment, please, and let me know what if you're using your phone or your tablet to watch. Oh wait, hang on, I didn't even see that there's... Oh, my phone. Okay, sorry, I didn't see that you guys already commented. I can share the whole video but not join. I am on my phone. Melody, give me some advice. And what kind of phone is it, Brenna? Maybe it'll work on your tablet. Melody, what does the button look like? Oh, is it the plus button? Choose your live mode. Live video, mystery mask. No, that's not it. Melody, what does the button look like to add to, like, what should other people look for when they want to join my conversation? What is the little thing on the bottom? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what that phone is. I've never even, I don't know how to pronounce that. Never heard of it. Right. Yeah, and I know when I go to the little thing that I have, it shows who my viewers are, but it doesn't give me the option to invite you. This is exactly what I was trying to avoid, and I'm sorry to be annoying like this. Brenna, have you tried just opening your tablet? Hopefully your tablet's charged. This is so dumb. Melody, can you quickly look up that name of that type of phone and see if there's an, I don't even know what that phone is, if it's an Android or an iOS operating system and how it works. I'm just gonna have a drink of my drink because I've been having, like, this day has been, I've had time to do stuff today, and somehow, I mean, I went to the shop and did some shopping, and I had to get home and everything else, and like, so I've had time today, and then, thank you, Karen. Yay, it worked. I don't know what you did differently, Brenna, if you're on your tablet now, but I see the, yes, okay. So everyone, Brenna is coming right away. Do I know Brenna? No, I don't think you know her. I just explained how I know her through Auntie Trish. Sorry, Aurora was just asking if she knows Brenna. But I probably showed you pictures of her and stuff. And all right, it's adding. So now it's just a matter of my Wi-Fi, not anything that we're doing wrong. So like I said, I hope everybody's having a good week. It is the last day of January, which is crazy that January's already, like, gone. Starting February, besides Valentine's, I don't know, unless decorating for Valentine's, that's one of my favorite parts. So.
Hello.
Yay!
Yay!
Hi.
Hi. How's it
Hi,
going?
so which good, how are you?
Good.
Did it work on your phone?
I'm glad we got this working. No, this is my tablet working now.
So it doesn't
my
have
phone wasn't giving me the option.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Good for you with your workouts. That's so awesome.
Thanks. I know there's many days that I don't feel like doing it, but Steve's like 100 days ahead of me, so if he doesn't miss a day, I can't say anything.
Yeah. I did a yoga video this morning. I'm really trying to get back into working out. Just life is so crazy, but I made the effort this morning and it was really nice. It was a little chaotic with the dogs and kids and everything, but got it done. So
yeah, I imagine. I know. I was thinking that because I see people's videos and pictures of people trying to work out, and working out with small kids or animals is like always the same. I don't know why the dogs want, it doesn't matter if you put a yoga mat down for the dog, like a separate one, they want the one you're going to use.
yes.
And then, you're doing downward facing dog and the dog wants to be underneath. And then like sometimes Lena, if I'm doing a stretch, like I have my legs over this way or whatever, and then she'll lie like right here so that I can't bring my leg back because she's lied down. That's how we're going to stay. But yeah,
That's
and
cute.
then kids too. I remember once I was working out, Erica was only about like 3 or something, and she went from on the couch down onto the floor. I don't know what she's doing. She's crawling, and I was going across, and I tripped over her and fell. So yeah, I imagine you've had similar experiences with the kids.
Yes, when they were that young, Jarek was always in the dishwasher taking knives out of the drawer or something crazy like that. It was so hectic, but
it would be hard to focus on, like, and calm yourself when you're doing yoga when a kid is like that
Put the
monkey
knife
nose.
back in the drawer. So,
But how old are they now?
yeah, 6.
The youngest is 6 already.
Yeah,
That's like the whole
she
time of
is.
kids.
Yeah, I
Wow.
know.
That's
'Cause I think the last time I saw you, I was pregnant with her, I think.
actually wait, no,
Or maybe,
actually, didn't you stop at my mom's house when with Frankenstein
yeah.
and you went to the shop and didn't Jared stay with me and my mom?
Yes, yes.
Right. So that was like 4 years. Okay, so it was a year after, so 5 years ago.
Yeah, he would have been 3 and Aria 1 then.
Right. Yeah. That's,
Uh,
I can't believe how fast time goes, but then we don't really look any different. So then we think it's not that long.
Right, yeah, yeah. I
Um,
understand.
Brenna has 14 kids.
Just about, yeah.
Melody has
5 kids,
kids. 5?
yeah. And 5 animals.
5 kids and 5 animals?
Hmm.
Okay, I was just clarifying that you weren't calling the kids animals.
No.
And how old is Sky's the oldest?
Yeah, she's 21 now.
So yeah, that's
Finishing her last year at the U of A in psychology.
exciting.
So, hmm,
Oh, and
very proud.
sorry, what's the youngest name again? Aria?
Art. Yeah.
Aria. She just started
Mhm.
kindergarten. Well, she's in grade 1 now, I guess, right? So
Yeah.
one's finishing university and one's just starting their education journey. That's
I must be crazy.
Melody, you have met Brenna. You probably don't remember, but it was at, I'm sure you were there, but anyways, you might not remember, but at a few, I know you were at the Boston Pizza birthday, but I'm thinking with the guests that were there, I think that was the year before I moved here. So that was about 7 years ago.
Mm, yeah.
So that would be like my 35th birthday, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Trish and I were both pregnant then. I was about to have Jarek, and it was a few months before she had Marshall.
Right. Yeah.
At-
Aurora, is your mouth dropped open because of my
TV.
Oh, she's watching TV. I thought she remembered the birthday from 7 years ago or
Oh,
something. And like
funny.
she's watching I think it's like Hawaii 5-0.
I think it's Bad Boys.
Oh, or Bad Boys. Okay, but she's watching with no sound, so all right. So right, I'm gonna have to remember that some people that are watching might be watching for you and I might not know who they are. You messaged me. What were we talking about again? Was it like cosmic ordering, bringing positivity into your life?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
you've been trying to practice that as well.
Oh, very much so, yes.
So tell me
It's
what you
keeping me
mean.
going.
Pardon?
I said it's keeping me going.
Do you have a mantra? Like, do you have something that you repeat to yourself specifically every day, or is every day like 5 things I'm grateful for? Or
Every morning I start off, I bought this cute little book on Amazon, and it has a spot to fill in the date and 3 things that you're grateful for. So every morning while I'm having my coffee, I sit with that book and I reflect on the 3 things that I'm grateful for. And I don't know if you know who Louise Hay is.
no?
She passed away, but I look her up. She has many different books, but You Can Heal Your Body is one that I absolutely love. And she wrote it for every physical ailment you could think of, and different positive affirmations that you can say to yourself every day to help heal whatever medical condition that you have. And it's
Right.
very, very interesting. We also made a box of cards, and it's called Power Thought cards. I keep them in my bathroom, actually. And when I'm doing my makeup, I'll shuffle through, and it has a positive affirmation and then a more deep, in-depth explanation on the back. And I will read, like, pick a couple of those every day to read. And I know one of Louise Hay's recommendations is that any negative thought that enters your mind, you catch yourself and you change it to a positive. And when you first start doing that, it's shocking how many negative thoughts.
You're frozen. Just give it a second. You can hear me, Brenna, but you're frozen. Yes, I know what Brenna was saying about negative thoughts and how many you have in a day. And wait, you're not back yet. Okay.
Okay.
I think you're back.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So the last thing you said, the last thing we heard you say was that you change your negative thoughts into positive, and it's you're amazed at how many in a day that you actually have, how many negative thoughts you had, and then you froze. So we don't know if you said anything after that.
Oh, I said, I just feel it's really empowering to change your thoughts like that. Very calming and soothing too, because oftentimes when you're thinking these negative things, it's because your life is in upheaval or you're going through some kind of difficulty. And so, you know, the negative comes in quite easily. But I feel almost if you can change those thoughts and have a different outlook to go on with the day, it does really help you feel a lot better.
I agree. And it's funny because I have some cards. First, actually, with Louise Hay, is she the one that started Hay House Publishing?
Sorry, started what?
Hay House Publishing, a publishing company?
Yes.
Right. Okay. I did actually I just heard of her a couple days ago on one of the podcasts that I was listening to. They mentioned her, and I was like, wow, I bought some stuff from Hay House, and I didn't even realize. But yeah, so I'll look her up and see what else she has offered. Did you say that the cards were specifically from that you use were hers as well? They were designed by her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And power cards.
Right. So the thing that some people in Canada get frustrated about is that we don't sell magazines like they do here. So when I went on my retreats, we would make vision boards, and Jackie and Steve would have all these magazines called like Soul and Spirit and like all these different, meditation, all these different types of magazines that they do regularly here. But in Canada, you couldn't get anything like that. So one of them, I think it's called Soul and Spirit, that when I see it in the shop, I don't buy it every time, but when I see it and it has free cards with it, different affirmation cards or different cards with it, then I'll buy the magazine just to get the cards. And so those are some of the ones. But it's crazy how I'll add a new one each day. And of course, I'm trying to use it in my life, but other people seem to need that message at that time, or like it's not just me who it affects.
Right. Yeah, I love that you've been posting those. I quite enjoy reading them.
And that's what I thought, because they're free with the magazine. So many people, it's not like the ones, like you said, we can get Louise Hay. If we order them, then everybody can have them. So these ones are very, a specific population who's going to have these cards, because if you don't get the magazine over there, you won't get them. So if I share them with people, then that will.
Right. I don't get the comments that pop up.
Oh, you don't? Okay, well, because I'm so pale and bright, they're white. The comments are in white. That's why I keep ducking down to see what they say. But Melody said that your volume is good, but mine seems to be quiet, which is crazy because I'm loud. So unless my microphone is dirty or something, I turned up my volume, but I don't know why I did that. That's not Melody. Melody, did you say it's a bit quiet, but is it like really bad, or is it doable? And will it help if you turn your volume up on whatever you're watching it on? I haven't seemed to have that problem before with my volume anyways. Lena, stop.
I can see.
Yeah. that was funny. One of my first ones, me and my sister were talking for about 10 minutes or more, and we could hear each other, but none of the viewers could hear us. And then even when I went back to watch it, there was no sound on it, but we were talking to each other like normal. doable. She said the volume's doable. Yeah, so it with the negative energy and stuff like that, it is true because you don't realize it that when you say like, you know, I don't want to have debt. I don't want to have debt. The word you're focusing on is debt. So you're actually bringing that into your life instead of saying, I want financial abundance. You know, I want checks in the mail, or the, you know, the equivalent, the positive equivalent to it. And you're right, we don't, and it could be everything from I hate my hair, or you know, instead of saying my hair's not working to, and what, you know, I don't know what the opposite of that would be. I have great hair. Sometimes it's just not my friend. I don't know. But yeah, it is catching yourself. But once you start catching yourself, it tends to, it changes things, like you said, quite quickly in your life, because like attracts like. So, and people say that too when, like situations in your life and such, especially when, if you keep repeating the same patterns, you're probably attracting that into your life, whether you realize it or not. So
Definitely.
If you see negative, if you see darkness and you know, or sadness in the world, then you're going to bring that into your world. You're going to have more of it. Once you start, you know, you put your rose colored goggles and you start seeing the positives and changing your perspective, then you will start attracting that into your life, and you'll have more of that.
Oh, definitely. And I think it is worth pointing out that taking this positive attitude and making a real effort to change your negativity certainly doesn't usually change the situation you're in, or if you're going through hardship or grief or anything like that. But it really can make you feel so much better in how you're dealing with everything, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I explain that to the girls too. Sometimes, like, if I'm having a down day, you know, I come into the living room or dining room, nothing here has changed. The environment's exactly the same, but my perception of it is different. So I have to say, okay, like, I know that it's me, it's not the environment. And then, like you said, what's a good, I mean, I would have liked to think that I would have used that during labor if I had natural births, but I didn't. But I thought that I could just like breathe my way through it. Nobody talk to me, just let me concentrate, and I'll, like, you know, breathe, and I won't feel the pain. And, you know, but it's about focusing on, like you said, the positives. And I always tell the girls too, the best way to get through something you don't want to do is to just do it. Or like you said about working out. So when you think of things like, say I ask the girls to bring in a bunch of groceries from the car, they don't want to do that. Don't think of it as, you know, like as a task, like a negative task. Think of it as that every bag that you're lifting is a little bit more exercise that your body's getting, or like, you know, so you have to do the dishes. Don't think of it as, you know, a negative. Think of it as that you're giving your hands a manicure, like soaking them in the water, or, you know, put your phone up there and then you're giving yourself time to watch something, or, you know, think of it as a relaxing time instead of, trying to make a negative situation, or any situation, not just negative, but a situation, into the best situation. I do try to do it as well.
Yeah. And I did read a really interesting article not very long ago, just somewhere on the internet. I stumbled upon it, dealing with anxiety and being overwhelmed and whatnot. A really good way to change your thoughts and help you with that is, instead of moaning and groaning to yourself about all the things you have to do and what a mess your house is and blah, 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 kids leaving their junk everywhere, to change it and say, I'm so grateful to have children to cook for and to clean. I'm so thankful for my able body, that I can just jump outside and shovel all that snow. And even that type of attitude, it does really show you your blessings, instead of moaning and complaining about the work, or feeling really anxious like you're never going to accomplish your huge to-do list.
Yes, and those are great examples, because one of the things that's on my mind right now is my visa application. Like, I know everyone's like, I thought you already did that, but I did. But time goes so quickly that it was, the last one I applied for was 2.5 years. Now I have to do it. it ends at the end of April, so I have to apply for another 2.5 year visa. So I'm starting the application now, but I can't put it in until 28 days, no sooner than 28 days before my other one runs out. But it is that anxiety of like, oh, I got to get all this together and everything else. And I try to say that, like, but I'm so grateful that throughout this whole stressful process of all these visas and everything, that me and Steve have got to be together in the same country, in the same house, because so many people are fighting this visa fight and they're in opposite ends of the world trying to get together. And the other one that you said is true as well, the messy house. And I think most parents feel that way, you know, the house is messy, the kids are this and that, but it is. I remember I had a 3-bedroom apartment in my early 20s because I wanted to foster. But then life changed. I moved. I was in an unhealthy relationship, so it wouldn't have worked then anyways. But I had a 3-bedroom apartment. I had it all set up. I was ready to, you know, for foster kids and everything. And my house was so clean, and I loved it. I loved that it was so clean. Like, I mean, like light switches, like baseboard. I didn't know what OCD was then, but I knew that. I was like, look at me, aren't you proud? Look, everything's so clean. But all I wanted was kids. I had everything ready just to have those kids. And then now it is the same. All I wanted to do was be a mom. So I think I can picture my house perfectly clean and everything organized in my head, but it's so quiet and lonely. And so, yeah, no, I absolutely would take the kids over a clean house, even though I'll still moan about it tomorrow.
Yeah, I do reminisce about the days when I lived just alone with my Dalmatian and everything was just perfect and clean, but it is just that. It's a lot quieter and lonely, and now I'll never be quiet and lonely.
No. I think my mom in retirement now, my dad's passed away and my mom lives alone. And even like, I'm sure there's days that she would like to think that she could be lonely and alone, but even with this COVID, but it's a, you know, everything's a blessing and a curse, right? Like, so she's in a bubble with my sister and her husband and their 2 kids who are 6 and almost 3. So it's good because then she's not alone, and she has, you know, like she watches Felicity, the almost 3-year-old, while Declan's at school and stuff like that. But at the same time, even now when she could be at home just quiet and everything else, she's, you know, little ones and everything. But it makes me happy because I was, you know, I was right next door to my mom when, well, I lived with my mom when Allison was born, and then I moved next door when she was 6 months. And then I was there when Aurora was born, and it was just before Aurora's first birthday that I moved, still in the city. But like when they're little, I just think it's great that my mom has the kids and my sister has my mom to help with them and everything else. It's good. It's good for both of them to, or the whole gang to have. And we speak to them on video chat like this lots. And it's crazy how we feel like we know them so well. And even when we went to Canada, like it wasn't awkward for Declan, like who are these people, you know, to even give us hugs and stuff like that, because he knows us from talking like this and playing games online and everything.
That's awesome. I really do hope that I'm in a position to help with my grandkids one day when I have them, and that I can look after them and they don't have to go to daycare or something, because myself included, but many people I know really feel they are the people they are because of the grandparent influence and the really awesome grandparents that they had. And I hope to be a really awesome grandma one day.
Yeah, well, when my grandma had a stroke and moved in with us when I was 2. So most of my life, I remember her living there. It was when I was about 16 that she moved into a home, and then she passed away when I was 18. But it was just normal for us that grandma lived with us, and because she had a wheelchair and a walker, so she needed a bit more help than. And it was, yeah, I loved it. I don't know that my mom always loved it because it was her mom. So, you know, I remember, you know, I remember a bit of frustration sometimes between them, but not, you know, you still love your mom, but it was, yeah, I liked it. And I always say that even my mom, when my mom stayed here for a couple months, Steve loved my mom too. And he said she could live with us. So I could live with my mom forever. I don't know if my mom could live with me. So Samantha has a daughter who's almost 3 as well, Danielle, and we just bought her these little Valentine sets. So she loves her little duckies. her little rubber duckies, and I saw these Valentine ones when I was in the shop, and I'm like, oh, I have to get them for her. So we gave them to her the other day when we stopped by because Tyla turned 13, Samantha's oldest daughter, and Tyla and Steve have this special connection. They also share a birthday. So it was Steve's birthday, but it was also Tyler's birthday. So it was the day after the birthday. So we went over to their place, social distance because we're in lockdown, but we just dropped off the gifts. And it was the duckies. And Danielle was so excited for these duckies. And now Samantha just said that Danielle saw my photo of me earlier, and she shouted, "Ducky!"
Ah, cute.
I'll be Auntie Ducky now instead of Auntie Lisa.
Funny.
But she got so excited about this. It's like the way that you want kids to react to gifts. Like it was like you just gave her a brand new iPhone or something. She was like so excited, and it was just rubber ducks. It made us happy though.
Yeah, kids are awesome.
Yeah, and then the grandkids, like your oldest is 21, and well, it's good that she's finishing university because that means she's got that, done before any grandkids come. But I remember asking my mom once before any grandkids, I said, Mom, are you sad that you don't have grandkids yet? And she said, a little bit. And I said, but Mom, once they start, they're not going to stop. And it was like that. It just was like,
Yeah.
And like I said, the youngest is 3. The oldest is, well, with my stepkids, the oldest now would be 29. But before I had stepkids, it would be like the same age as my stepson, Thomas. So my sister and brother both have kids that are 19, almost 20. And Thomas is almost 20. So so it's a big gap as well with the kids. Well, it's basically your gap. Almost your kids is the same as the grandkids. But so there's I want grandkids. I this is the first time besides Danielle, and now we're in lockdown again, so I don't get to see Danielle really. But besides Danielle coming over, this is the first time since I moved here in my life that I haven't had little kids around me because I had a day home or my own, or I've always babysat. And I look forward to when we have grandkids, but at the same time, I'm tired still from my own kids, so I'm in no rush yet to be a grandma. But I hope to be a good grandma as well, and involved, and just the same as I was when I was such a great babysitter. So I thought I'd be such a great mom. And I'm an all right mom, but I'm not as good as I was when I was babysitting, but that's because you got a break.
Yeah. Yeah. The break is vital for sure. Yeah. I do understand about being tired. I'd say that too, that I'm not quite ready to be a grandma yet. I'd like the little kids to be a tiny bit older so that they can help a little more too with stuff.
The gap's just too small from and my youngest is 12, and I'm still not ready yet. It just feels like I just had her. So, and yours is only 6, so I'm sure the gap would be like. And I said that like me and Steve, if we didn't already have so many kids and we weren't the age that we were, maybe like if we had met when we were younger, we would have had kids together. But we both can love anybody's kids as much as our own. So we have no desire to have any of our own. Plus, we're both fixed. So if I always said that if we got pregnant, it would be it would be a miracle because both of us are fixed. So that baby would really wanted to be here if we ever, but I hope not. I mean, I'm in my 40s and I'm hoping menopause will come soon so I can get the hormones over with. I think Brenna's frozen. Are you frozen? Tell me when you're back. And for the viewers, let me know if you guys can hear me and or Brenna. All right, so if she's frozen, then I will let me think which. Oh no, we lost her. That's even worse. Hopefully she comes back and signs on. I'm just gonna have a drink. So we were talking about bringing positive energy into our lives. So we'll talk a bit more about that and what cosmic ordering is when she comes back. And some of you guys might have heard of the book called The Secret, and it is basically the same as cosmic ordering and putting your order into the universe. As I said before, like attracts like. So you really do shape the environment that you live in. We're all energy. The universe is all energy. So we can manipulate energy and, you know, bring in to life what we want. People will see that I have a nice home and, you know, a good family, and we're not perfect by any means. And me and Steve are really happy together, but we're just normal people as well. But we made a decision a long time ago to only have certain things in our life. Now, that doesn't mean that we'll never get negative things in our life, because we need to grow. And as some of you may or may not, like, if you think about the worst things you've had to go through in life, they're usually the things that have helped you grow the most. So we're still going to have negative situations. We're still going to have negative things happen in our life, but we got to look at them as ways to grow and learn and be a better us. But at the same time, you choose what you want in your life to a certain point. So if you're in a negative situation, if you have certain negative things around you, if I'm sure you can look around and try and find a way to get out of that negative situation. If there's people around you that have negative attitudes or bring you down, then you want to try and not be around them. And if you're in an unhealthy or abusive relationship, then, you know, it's not easy and it might take a lot of time, but you need to find a way to get out of the negative situations and look for the positives. And it can be as small as Brenna said, as just reading daily affirmations, changing your mindset from the negative thought to the positive thought, and, you know, start small. Think about the things that you're grateful for, and even if it is a bad day, what are the good things? And like Brenna said, going outside and shoveling the snow. Yeah, you can look at that as a negative, or you can look at it as a positive, that your body is that you're able to do that, that you that you used to that you're able to physically do that, because there might come a point in life when you're not able to do that. Okay, so Samantha said The Secret is her next book after the one she's reading right now. And Melody said the silhouette in this picture reminds her of these things that we used to have in our grandma's house, which is funny because we were talking about being a good grandma, and so that's Grandma McDermott. This is just this was on somebody's wall in a house that I went to drop somebody off once, and so I don't know whose house. Like, I don't know them, but it was this huge thing on the wall, and I took a picture of it back in the film days of camera, and I liked it, so I put it in a frame, and I've had it like that since. But there was these two silhouettes that sat on the end of a bed at my grandma's house, at the front of the bed, I should say. But they were actually cherubs, and my Auntie Joan painted them, and they're at my brother's house in Canada because I forgot to put them on the shipping container when I moved here. So they are at my brother's house. But yeah, they're actually cherubs. But I know what you're saying, Melody. Hi, Mommy. So I don't know what happened to Brenna. Oh, okay. I see, she sent another request. Okay, so I might keep talking while I'm doing that. And oh, there she is.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I don't know what internet's. Yeah. Working now.
Okay, so I was just going over what we talked about and kind of saying, well, not only the positive thoughts, but I was talking about cosmic ordering and putting your order out into the universe to bring into your life the things that you want. Have you done that? Have you made a list and been specific about the things that you want?
I'm becoming more specific, yes, because I was reading about the importance of being specific. I don't think I was doing a very good job with that before, but yeah.
Well, I can give you an example of being specific. So me and Steve both had marriages that, I don't want to criticize the other people or anything like that, but just say that they were unsatisfying. In the end, they didn't satisfy what we wanted in life. So having relationships that didn't fulfill what we wanted made us know what we wanted in life. So we both cosmic ordered. We put into the universe, you know, I mean, I was okay not having another partner, but if I was to ever have another partner, I wanted this and this and this. And I made it like very clear exactly what I wanted. And after and we knew each other 2 years, but we didn't realize we had feelings for each other until the third time we met. And he had put his order into the universe as well for a partner. The one thing that we didn't make clear was where that person lived. Neither of us said, and we want them to live local, or we want them to, we did not specify that that this person that we wanted could live anywhere in the world. That was a barrier that we had to get over. Luckily we could. But yeah, that's why it's important to be very specific about what you want. And remember, when you start cosmic ordering and making your list and putting that out there, that this really is an energy thing. This really does work. So be very careful, because you will get what you ask for. You won't always get what you want, but you'll get what you need, and you'll get what you ask for. So say you hate your job and you want a different one, but you don't go about it the right way, putting that order into the universe. You might get a different job, not have the job you wanted, or the one you had, but it doesn't mean that you got a better job unless you put specifically what you want out of a job or whatever it is that you're cosmic ordering. And again, you can read the book The Secret, and there's other things. If you look it up on cosmic ordering, universal energy, I don't know what other terms they use for it, putting your order into the universe. What other things have inspired you lately? That, because I'm sure now that you're on this journey with the spiritual stuff, not spiritual stuff, the positive and everything else, I'm sure that you're noticing things coming into your life. So you said about Louise Hay? Yeah. And what are you noticing coming more into your life now? Do you find that there's a certain animal that you keep seeing around, or is there, like, are you having anything else that's
Giraffe? And it's funny, the giraffe keeps coming up. I was told I need to do some research into giraffe as a spirit animal, I was told.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to look into that and see what the meaning is, because I don't know offhand. But it's funny. One thing I've been trying to do too every night is sleep meditations. There's tons on YouTube, and I feel like that has made a huge difference as well. I don't know if you ever use sleep meditations.
I don't need to. I was listening to something the other day, and it was a lady who said that she listens to like meditations before she goes to sleep so that she can just calm and fall asleep. But I sleep like for the dead. Like I could, if it was an Olympic sport, I would be the top for sleeping. So it doesn't take long to go to sleep. I dream all the time, and my dreams are they're as real as everything around here, like all the detail and everything. And so, but I was thinking about this. So I can go into that without listening to meditations. But at the same time, Steve listens to headphones because he watches TV because he doesn't sleep a lot. And then I wear my mask so that it's like dark and I just go to sleep. But I was thinking that maybe I wanted to start, even if it was just music or something. The other thing is that I always write down my meditation. So when I go if I'm in a class or a workshop or something and we do a meditation, then once I come, out of it, then I write everything down. And so then that would bug me too. But I could wake up and write down like my dreams or the meditations and stuff like that. So, but it's funny because that just came up a couple days ago in another podcast that I was listening to. So the fact that you brought that up, it's like, oh, maybe I need to try this.
Yeah, many of the ones I listen to are different manifestations for various different things. The guy I've been listening to, the YouTube channel is called Doxy Meditation, and he has a whole bunch for every different thing you could think of, but I really like them. I started listening to them as a way to fall asleep and hopefully stay asleep because I was having such a hard time sleeping, but I found it's really just improved my life so much. I feel so much better just from that. I've been doing it for about a year now.
Wow.
Listening, yeah.
I could probably use that. You know how you just said, like I could probably use like an affirmation one or something that would repeat in my head, something positive, so I could probably do things like that.
He's got a few.
All good.
Yeah, there is a few there of positive affirmations, different affirmations also. So it is good, I think. And just the big changes in life and whatnot, anything I can do to look at my situation positively and feel happy and be in control of what I can control and just realize the universe will take care of the rest, right? And that
That's
I'm not
my
going to
problem.
fall.
The controlling thing is that, and I've even been told by my guides and stuff like that too. Just like, get out of the way, Lisa, because you'll ask for help. You'll say, whether you believe in God or your high power, your guides, you just say like, please help me with this. This is so much to do by myself. I just need some help. And then they're like, okay, we'll help you. And then you try to take control again, and you're like, all right, I got to get this done and everything else. And they're like, well, how can we help you if you won't get out of the way?
Right.
But yeah, so that's my issue. That's something I have to, like you just said, about being able to, or controlling the things you can, but knowing that you can't control it all, and trusting the universe. And they know better than I do. Absolutely. Sometimes I look back, like I look at the man who Steve is. And if I knew men like him existed, I probably would have never dated until I found a man like him. And I look back at some of those people who I thought were the one, or, where would my life be if I had been with that person? And I think, holy man, I'm so glad the universe knows better than me. Because when we were talking about, you won't get necessarily everything you want, but you'll get what you need. If I'm glad that I didn't get what I wanted in some of those situations, because had I got what I wanted, or the person who I thought that I should be with or whatever, my life would be nothing like it is now. So we have to trust the universe. That's they have our best intentions, and they have our back.
Absolutely. I think, a door closes or you just can't get that door open. It's not meant for you. You think it is, but there's something better coming. So
Yeah, that is, so those little things in life. I try to do that too. Say that you want to watch a TV program, and the TV, it's just not working. Something that, it's glitching. I don't know if it's on Wi-Fi, it's just not working. Then maybe you're not supposed to watch that right now. Like, walk away. Maybe you're supposed to do something else. So I try to tell myself that too. If like, what was it? Like, if I'm really clumsy, but say I'm trying to do something specific and I keep hurting myself doing it, it's like, okay, just walk away. This isn't the time to do that. And then it might. So I try to do that too. And also, Samantha said she thinks she needs to take a page out of Brenna's book and yours. But yeah, as we know, Samantha lost a baby at the end of November. I don't know if you knew that or not. But so she's going through her own. Oh, I was going to tell you that. And Samantha, this is good for you too. So again, I listen to podcasts and stuff, but this is actually, I think it's on Audible. I think it's an Audible book, but it's called Yoga and the Dark Night. I think that's called, but I'll look it up and I'll post the link of what it's called and who it's by on the bottom of in the comments after. But I didn't realize. I just thought, oh, yoga and something interesting, a story about yoga. So I thought, and I learned a lot about yoga and the discipline and everything else, and how it's so much more than just stretching and that. But also, I didn't realize the term "the dark night" referred to those dark periods in life that we go through, and we all have them once or twice or even more in life. Those dark, like for Samantha, it would be right now would be one of her dark nights of the soul. So, oh yeah, maybe that's what it's called, Yoga and the Dark Night of the Soul, or something like that. I'll put the link to it anyways. And it is, like I said, I listened to it on audio, and I'm going to listen to it again and again, because it's just so much wisdom in it. And it's not just about yoga, but it is kind of where the practice of yoga came from, but it has to do with practices to get you through that dark period. And I just thought, I didn't even realize there was a term for that, like those times in your life, let alone like, things to help you get through it. So
yeah, I'd love to read that.
Yeah, or listen to it. I think it's free on Audible, so because I tend to try and get the free ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I will put a link to it, and then you can choose if you want to read it or listen to it. But I tend to, because I like to be busy and doing things and everything else. And it's funny because I can, when memories, like how you associate things. So I know exactly, like, I was out front of my garden, like working mostly in there for most of the book that I was listening to. So I remember what I was doing while I was listening to it. But it was just, and sometimes when I didn't feel like working out then too, I would listen to a bit of that, and it would make me feel like the working out, because I start with yoga and then I do my like shred. So the, what do you call it? The strengthening and cardio. And now I'm finishing on the cross trainer because I need more cardio. But, so my yoga, it stretches my muscles before my workout, but it also is a bit slower. So when you don't really feel like, doing your workout. So then sometimes I would listen to a bit of the Dark Night and it would get me in the mood, like, okay, this is part of your journey, you need to do this, you need to, and because a healthy body, a healthy mind, healthy everything, right? It's not about being thin or like looking great, those are bonuses, but it's about treating the body like a temple, like taking care of it, right? It's really sad that you'll take better care of your car than you'll take care of yourself.
Yes.
You wouldn't put crap into your engine, and you would, some people wash their cars all the time, keep them pristine, but they don't do the same for their body.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get a new car, can't get a new body.
Yeah.
Aurora, what time is it?
9:01.
Thanks. I could talk forever. That's why it's called a rambling hour, because I had to, but we can talk a bit more because I was a few minutes late and I'm just excited. I don't know when we'll speak again.
I know.
Because we always, you try to plan these things with people, but with 100 kids and and life and everything else, it's really hard to get.
Sunday is a good day for me, though. It's my day off. Like I work Tuesday to Saturday, so I have Monday off too, but most people are pretty busy on Mondays. Back at it. But,
Yeah. And I chose Sunday evenings because it's evening for me here. Right now it's 9 p.m. Because this was on Sunday nights is when Steve and his mates made a pact with each other that the same thing. You say you're going to get together and you don't, and everything else. So they have a pact that Sunday nights they would go out to the pub and play cards. And every Sunday night, unless you're like in the hospital or something, you don't miss a Sunday. There's no excuse. So but right now, obviously with being in lockdown and stuff, they can't. But they have a group that they talk to each other and stuff, and it's just about like Steve says, like they might not, I mean, they're guys, so they don't necessarily sit and talk about the things that we would talk about and everything, but even if they're just laughing with each other or taking the mickey out of each other, so that's like the English term of making fun of each other, and just you need that in your life, you need that the balance. And that's something else I've been trying to post about, like the 5 F's: family, friends, finance, fitness, and faith. And I'm trying to post about it. So I'm doing it like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday type thing. But it's for me to remember to have a balance in my life, because sometimes I can do everything and not spend enough time with the kids, or like as a family. I'm still taking care of them, but I'm not spending time with them, even board games or something like that. And then the same thing with friends. So I'm trying to get it all in. And obviously I thought about it. I was like, oh, but it doesn't have like nature in there, and that's not an F. And I was trying to think of the other things, but that I'll just put that in faith and like taking care of myself, and because being out in nature and all that is, and you can have fitness in nature. I'll just fit it in somewhere. But it's just a basis to get all those. And Steve's always been good like that. He works really hard. He has 2 businesses and he does that, but he always makes sure that he's like, if the kids have something at school, or like he's so good with the family stuff. And on Sundays, since we moved here before all this COVID stuff, every Sunday he would try and do something family. And even me, like being like a big kid, like, I don't want to go out, but we would always have, whether it's going to feed the ducks or going to a just a playground for the kids to play and run around or whatever, we always had good times. And he's so good at balancing his life. And then, like I said, Sundays with his friends, and then obviously he's a spiritual teacher, so the faith is there. And I'm glad that and now he's got the fitness in his life, so he's doing good. And that's what I want that balance. And I don't want to leave my friends behind, which I've done in the past when I live in my own world, and I leave my friends behind because they matter too.
I know I kind of am feeling like I'm doing that right now. Just being everyone so isolated, and I'm definitely not good at keeping in contact. And so I find that's even worse now. I'm lucky that I'm going to work every day and I get to see people and I have friends at work, but definitely missing hanging out with friends. And I'm trying to keep that balance too, because I think a balance in life is so important. It was so easy having the last 2 little kids to just run myself into the ground and not take care of me and not nurture all the different things that are so important. But I'm finding that now, and just on the road to my best life.
Yes, you are. And it works better now that you're done having the kids. Because as you just said, we know that when you have little ones, it takes everything out of you. And even if
Hmm.
you're trying to get to your best self, it's really hard to find that time.
Yeah.
Important, but hard. But now that they're getting a bit older, you'll have even just a little bit more. And like you said, working, it's just a little bit of time to focus on something else. And what did you say? Balance, friends. Oh yeah, that's the thing with that I'm learning too is, and so, and a book I read from one of my friends. I've mentioned this on my lives before, but somebody I went to junior high with wrote a book, and I read his book. I need to do a review of it as well. It's called From Out of Control, and he worked on in the oil field, and he was an alcoholic and drugs and everything else. But something he said, and then he cleaned up and he worked out and everything. So it was the transition. But something he said in there is in junior high, he would do anything to be with the popular people, even things that he shouldn't have done. So, even if it's, using drugs or doing whatever just to be in that group, to fit in, to be part of it. And luckily I wasn't like that. But my point was that there was these certain people that were in your life when you were younger. And then as you get older, you want everybody to like you. You want everybody to, you try to make friends and do this and everything else. And now, I don't know if you find the same thing, but now as we're getting older, it feels like you don't want all those people. You don't want to be popular. You don't give a shit. You just want a few people in your life, but you want those people to matter. And I'm really trying to do that. So having you, like, you're one of those people. And I think I've told you, and I hope you know. And I don't know why the universe puts certain people in our lives and everything else. But when there's those connections there, I want to nurture those connections. And so instead of trying to keep up with everybody, I want to make sure those people who really matter know that they matter and nurture those connections. So there's
Totally.
obviously a reason that you're in my life and I'm in your life, and I want to make sure that like yours and those connections are really nurtured.
Hmm.
Even if we only connect every few months or whatever, we know we're thinking about each other in the meantime, just sending positive energy to each other. And
Yes. And technology is so nice. That is, something I'm grateful for sure, being able to keep in contact. And even though we're so far away,
but doesn't it feel like we're
oh,
having a visit right now?
oh, totally. Yeah.
You
It's so
can even
awesome.
do that where you plan, like, so if I don't drink wine, but say we're gonna have drinks, right? And you get your wine, and then, or we're eating a nacho platter or something, like, just like where we feel like and then, so we both have our drinks and it feels like we're sitting across the table from each other, that we've actually had that visit. And absolutely, especially living all the way here, I am
Mhm.
so grateful for technology. So grateful. And I've said this before too, when my dad passed away, obviously I was here, and when we knew he wasn't going to make it, he was in the hospital, and they video chatted me like this. And when one phone would die, they would switch to another phone and charge that phone. And it felt like it was the next best thing to being there. I could hear the doctors, see the nurses walk by. They had me just sitting up. I could see my dad in the bed and my family sitting around him. And it was like I was there. And there's no way I could have been there. Like the
Right.
flight, like there's no way I could have been there. But I saw him take his last breath. I saw his color change. I was there with them, and technology gave that to me, and I'm so grateful. Like I can't.
Yeah.
So like, again, the little things, the big things, we can't take these things for granted. And I was saying
Mm.
before, when yours kicked you out, I was talking about the shoveling snow and how you
Oh,
said, like, it's annoying, but at least you have the body that is able to do that. And
yeah.
then, like, again, another positive is it's hard work, so it's exercise. So just think of it as not, think of, like, I'm getting a bit of exercise, and everything going up the stairs, I'm getting more exercise, and just,
Yeah.
so yeah. But it's great talking to you, and we can do this again. I'm really
Yeah.
happy that you're finding these things in life and that you're on that journey. And you will just, I know that you'll just keep seeing it manifesting into more and more and more. And your kids will benefit from it, and life is just gonna go your way. And as I was saying also, when you got kicked out, it doesn't mean that we don't have hard times. It doesn't mean that we're not gonna have things to challenge us. We're still gonna have those things, but those are the things that help us grow and help us become who we're supposed to be. So, and with that mindset, you can face those things a bit easier.
Oh, I agree. And I think it's often the really hard times, the darkest times of our life that lead us to this place where we're trying to feel better, become more positive, live our best life. So it's definitely not that being positive changes your situation or makes it so that you never have a bad day or nothing wrong. It's not that. It's just taking control of the situation as much as you can
Yeah.
and feeling better, right?
Yes. And as I said, like the contrast, like the dark and the light, right? You wouldn't be able to see dark. There would be no dark without light because you need the, so me and Steve, if we had been our first marriage with each other, we might have taken each other for granted. But because we've had the contrast, we tell each other how thankful we are for each other because, and again, I'm not trying to knock our exes, but at the same time, because there was so much negative there, now we're like, this is amazing. I didn't know it could be this good, you know, as a comparison. And we wouldn't have had that had we not had the other spectrum, end of the spectrum. So absolutely, people need to know that at their darkest times, there's a reason for it. You're going to grow from it. There's a lesson to be learned here, and it's easier said than done when you're going through it. But it can only make you better if you stay focused and don't give up.
And easier to appreciate that beautiful rainbow after you've had that horrible storm, right?
Yes, and I always say that no matter how cloudy it is, the sun never stops shining.
True.
It is true. It's
You.
behind the clouds, but it never stops shining. So, yeah, but I really enjoyed this. And I think maybe it is the rambling hour, so it can go to anything. And then when people comment and stuff, it can go to, but I think that maybe I should have a topic, every week that I can talk about or, and then guests can be specific to it, or I can let the guests choose a topic. But I think it helped me focus a little more this week as well. I don't know if you've watched any of the other lives, so you wouldn't be able to compare if you haven't, but, and I won't blame you if you don't, because I know you're busy.
Yeah. So it is a good idea. I like having a topic and different guest speakers is fun.
Yes. And like I said, with people who have written books or done different things, or if they're doing charities and stuff like that, like I like to, like, you know how you treat others how you want to be treated. So I like to support other people's causes. So if you know someone or who's done something, then you want to give them that credit, right? So
Right.
The people who have written books that I personally know, I want to say, hey, look what this person did. So I want to have them on as well. Even if I do an author night and only talk to each of them for 10 minutes about their book or something, but I want to say, why did you write this book? And, and if we do that all for each other, it helps build each other up as well. So.
And give me new books to read. Yay.
Yes, and listen to. So you have some to read, some to listen to. I was in line today. I went to McDonald's only for a pop. This was so annoying. I was so thirsty. I wanted a pop. I should have just went to the shop and went in and bought like a bottle of pop or something. But I thought, I'll just go through the drive-thru at McDonald's. Once I got in, because it's only drive-thru right now because of the lockdown, so they had all these like cones, like traffic cones. And once I got in, I was like, oh no. It went around the parking lot and all the way, and I was like, oh, but I can't get out now. And I was like, but then I was like, okay, well, I'll just read my book. So what I do, because I want to read all the books that I own, so I do have the audio, Audible, and then I have books that you can get free download, but I want to read the books I own as well. So I know some people would think this is tedious and they wouldn't do it, but I take my phone and I take the book and I take a picture of each page, turn the page, take a picture, turn the page, take a picture, and then I have it all on my phone and I can read it. So I read a few pages I actually read 6 pages while I was in line waiting for one pop. And then I went to the speaker. I'm like, just a pop, please. But so you gotta just using your time wisely. And so you have new books to read, new books to listen to. And I have some things to check out too, because obviously Louise Hay is being mentioned in my life for a reason. So I'll check out her stuff too. But I really enjoyed this, and we will talk soon. If not on here, we'll talk again, I'm sure. But I'm really happy to have you as my guest. So everybody else, you can tune in next week at the same time. That's 1 p.m. for Mountain Standard Time and 8 p.m. here in the UK for Rambling Hour next Sunday. All right. Bye, Brenna. I love you. Thank you for joining me. Thanks for being my guest. I think you're frozen again. I hope I let you talk enough too. I know I talk too much. Okay, you're frozen. I want you to say bye. So I don't know if it's going to kick you out again or if you're going to say bye. If it kicks Brenna out, then I will just say goodbye. But if it doesn't, then she can come back. Okay. It's one of those awkward moments. Oh, there she is. I didn't know
Yay.
whether to finish or if you were going to come back to say bye.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It was so nice to see you.
You too.
The internet keeps kicking me off, but
That's okay. We did well. We had you for most of the time.
yes. Your hair looks beautiful.
You're frozen again. Can you hear me? I'm waiting for Brenna to come back. I'll say thank you because I'm pretty sure she was saying that my hair looks beautiful, but I don't know for sure. Oh, right. Okay, so all I heard was I think you said my hair was beautiful. Okay, she's gone, but Brenna, if you can still hear me, it's taken me. Well, I shaved my head just before I moved here, so 6.5 years. June will be 7 years since I shaved my head, so this has taken 7 years. I do get trimmed sometimes, but my trim is overdue because of lockdown. But yeah, so I hope that your hair grows that long too, if you want it that long. Anyways, I love you guys. Thank you for my guests and everybody else too. Bye.